Hello, everybody, and there is a series which we have in our channel, and that is stories from my life. And I've already made a broad sketch of my life, and why did I do that? And the tagline of that playlist is "Story of my life, write yours too." So it's the whole idea is that every person should write his story. He should narrate his story, make it meaningful to himself, and discover the world within him, and discover that he and the world are the same. And after having the broad sketch, I thought I will add separate stories and will take it to as many stories as I can in that whole playlist. So I have now four stories, four or five videos, and this is one. This one I want to narrate the time I had spent in something called PS2, Practice School 2 in Bitspelani, in which we have to go out and work for 6 months. For some reason, I was selected. I was not a good student. I used to get lowest grades because I never used to study. Though I was very active in as a consumer. Even now, I'm like that. So I used to look at all the plays, movie club plays and music. It was a very vibrant place then. I don't know how it's now. So this was 1989, and the Medha Patkar movement was in full strong thing, and I was selected to work with the top leading civil engineering and environmental scientist in the world. Really, K.R. Date, Daty. You can research his work. He was a, I think he was a genius in civil engineering, and he had applied his civil engineering principles. They're connected, right? In developing villages through a holistic approach of small dams using timber and cotton there with some kind of a making a bamboo geogrid, which in which I also did a bit of research. I helped as an assistant. I didn't do any research, and I was sent to cut the story short. He was a great guy, and they had this whole great solution for these villages, but they were building this Narmada River dam, you know that. And during that time, Medha Patkar was heading that. Arundhati Roy was also part of that later. This was 1989, and something at this time only. Yeah. I took off took off in a. Uh, I was in Mumbai working with K.R. Date, and I had to go to a village called Savaria, very poor village. They don't have food also much food to eat, and I was to go there for just 4 or 5 days, help building a small dam like thing with the villagers there, and come back. So I had it in the bus. I had this lovely drive towards Pune. I remember the whole beautiful green drive you have from Mumbai to Pune. Now then Bombay. I reached Pune. It was evening, and then I went to that house where the address was given. And there was one lady who was very warm, and she received me. I could sense that warmth of activists. How warm they are, and like we are one. It's very electric. It's very heart touching. That was the first experience of being so touched by that kind of a togetherness feeling. That's the power of togetherness of activists. She said that there will be one guy who has been part of this movement from the village. He was selected from the village, like he's a little more advanced among his villagers. He was in that white kurta. I think I met him. Next morning we started out. We went up and up and up. Very beautiful it was. I still remember. And up and up and finally went fully up. And what do I see there? Only one hut. And there were a few huts stretched here and there. The reason why I want to make this video is to tell you how I lived there and what happened there. Anyway, that night I think it was night when I reached there, and I got nothing to eat. I was shocked, but I am that kind of guy. I don't know. I just accept. I think it's more not even that I had an adventurous feeling. I accept what is there. I mean, everything is okay with me. I have a big problem of selectivity, priority. When people say this is good, that is bad, I find very funny. Really, I think even if death comes, I'll say, okay, fine. You know, really, I'm not joking. And I remember I was carrying the book Prophet by Khalil Gibran, just like that. So read it. And they gave me something today. I managed some bajra roti and one roti only they gave me, and little bit of curry. I was feeling very hungry. what to do. So I just let it be. And outside this, but the, these cots with ropes, those cots were there. And I looked at the stars. Till now, I'm saying I've never seen such star-studded sky, which I saw that night. Happily slept. I got up in the morning and I went to for my bathroom. There's no bathroom. Whole full area, the huge bathroom. Whole nature's my bathroom. I went, came back. Then they gave me this tea. No milk, just a small tea. And they had this. I was a smoker then, so they used to make this with green leaves, not marijuana, but green, not weed, but green leaves. Put the tobacco and give me. That was quite a luxury. Big cigarettes. Happily, I smoked that. It's as good or better than the normal cigarettes. Then we went out. We dug up things that day and all that. And then the tragedy, so-called tragedy, struck. It started raining. It was unexpected rains, and I was stuck there for 1 month. That is the story. Believe it or not, in 1 month, I lived in extreme poverty, so called poverty. I don't know. Extreme of the extreme poverty only maybe I can accept. Like my friends have gone through sometimes. Unfortunately, 2 or 3 friends, because of some situations, they didn't eat for 4 5 days. I have not eaten for 1 or 2 days also. In my case also it happens. It happens sometimes accidentally because of some reason. Whatever. Long life. But for that and death. So if you think of it, I'm just digressing a bit. If you think of it, poverty and death, if you accept it, what if you accept it? What if you care a damn about it? Then that then will someone live or die? Anyway, we'll die. This has I didn't realize that this was an attitude I'd always had. From that, and that became absolutely concrete. What should I say? Concretized. I don't know what to say. The words. Anyway, I was there, and every day I used to sit there. Just imagine what I used to do. Nothing. So read this Khalil Gibran's a bit, and frankly, there were some lovely women there. Very cute they were actually. I'm a very good guy by the way. I don't look at it in lectures, but really I don't. I just look at them. They're so beautiful, so lovely. And there was one woman. Actually, she was the cousin of this guy. So I should I should like her. And believe it or not, they didn't have clothes. Guys didn't have clothes, and women had very little clothes. They didn't have the top. I mean, they were not without jacket, but they had. But they had very skimpy kind of clothes. After a while, I lost the feeling of it also. And I started, I removed my clothes. I was in shorts and I removed my top. In Rome, you become Roman. And those days were lovely. And believe it or not, after a while, I got used to the food also. Then I used to wait for the food. I felt good hunger. In fact, in the modern terms, it was super intermittent fasting, this fasting and that fasting. And I felt very vigorous and all that. And I used to just lie there and look at the stars. I used to love the nights, the day, the morning. Every moment, every day went past away like that. I used to read some passages of Khalil Gibran. I used not to understand much. I used to just read. And but there were some nude pictures. And I remember one day some people came behind me and to see what I was reading. And they saw all these nude pictures. And then they all started giggling and laughing. They called all the other women and they also started seeing. And when they saw no reaction in them, they also lost it. And one day they took me for this lovely folk dance. They were all together dancing. There was a fire and they were all dancing together and all that. Just think of this experience. And then finally, I think 25 days I lived there. Just time passed by. I would say centuries passed by, a lifetime passed by. And everywhere I go and live like that, I always feel that I should settle here. I thought I'll marry this girl who is proposed to her, marry this girl and live happily ever after. And anyway, that didn't happen, sadly. I miss her. Really cute. She had this lovely large eyes. She has got this cheeks, cute cheeks. She was dusky and deep eyes. Arty movies. Anyway, so I got back in the train, sorry, bus, and then I came back. When I came back, I was in for the next shock. I was living in IIT Mumbai. They had given me I was friendly to those guys there. They thought that I'd gone through some lot of hardship, and they took turns to take me to movies every day. So I had a double treat there that way. They really thought that I had gone through some trauma or something. So they took me to movies every day. I remember one movie was Charlie Chaplin's movie. Yeah, his autobiography. Such great movies they were those days. Every day one movie and one dinner. They used to take me and gave me all this treat. And finally, I wrote my report. I got very low grade actually. Actually, I got C grade, which nobody gets. And anyway, that was not important. And that's how I passed out from my college. Poverty and death, food and death, right? The two problems of the world. Don't you think that we are making big issue of nothing? Nothing. You think you can't have food? I really believe that Imagine song is all there is in the so-called humanities. And if you want the full thing, then all the nonsense people have read, you can read them hypothesis, you can ask all the questions. But the core should be simple. Your core, whatever, how much ever you learn and get the information, look, your core should be very simple. It should be nothing. Your core should be just what UG Krishnamurti says, without emphasis, without exaggerating. You shouldn't exaggerate truth. Truth is you're born, you live for a while and die. Why are we making such a big issue? What is the Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens, frankly, even objectives, leftists, all these people, what are they doing? Who are these people? Why are they making such a big issue of nothing? That's why I like a musician like Andrew Gavrilov. I like Ayn Rand, actual Ayn Rand, not this Ayn Rand that people have made of, and her own maybe image which came across. I like Andrew Gavrilov. I like Michael Newbury, and I like Ifat Glassman. I like people who know, people who feel, those who have opened their eyes. I love them. Or I love those tribalists. Maybe it's all imagination. No? Or maybe, we're all human. And we're all human. This is all that we are all matter. And we are dead. We come alive with another matter. Not in togetherness, in love. Maybe. Anyway, that's my story. The story of poverty and the time I had the time of my life I had in with Medha Patkar group.